Hello my beautiful friends, I'm here today with my April reading wrap-up and I had a crazy reading month. I actually read over 30 books. Now I do have a handful of DNFs, some of these were novellas, so that definitely helped, but wow, it was a crazy reading month. As usual, my reading wrap-up will be categorized by genre, so I will have a cozy mystery, a thriller section, and then an other section, which I think I just have like one nonfiction in. So let's go ahead and start with cozy mystery reviews for the month of April. For starters, I finally picked up the next book in the Laura Levine mystery series, the Jane Austen mystery series, or rather I should say the Jane Austen mystery series by Laura Levine. This one is called Killing Cupid. This is a very comedy-heavy, very self-deprecating humor cozy mystery series about a freelance writer named Jane Austen, and she does all these odd jobs in the big city with her cat, whose name is Prozac. This cat is comedy gold. This cat is hilarious, so sassy, so funny, very self-deprecating. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea with the humor, but I loved this. This one involved a matchmaking service for Valentine's Day, and it was hysterical. So that one was like a strong 4 stars for me. That's usually what I end up giving the series. I just love it. It's a really good laugh, good fun, lighthearted read. One that I read with my Patreon book club this month was Left for Dead by J.M. Griffin, and this is the first in the Jules and Bun mystery series, and wow, this is so cute. So I did give this 3.5 stars. I feel like the plot had some issues with it feeling just a little haphazard and all over the place, but overall it was a really fun read. Basically our main character Jules is in New Hampshire. This takes place during March, and she runs a rescue rabbit farm, and her sidekick Bun, she can actually, like, he speaks to her telepathically. So that's the only like supernatural kind of whimsical element. So there is a talking rabbit. I really recommend this on audio. I read part of it physically and then finished it on audio, and I really enjoyed it on audio because there's so much natural humor infused with the bunny talking. So really fun. This one involves them going on a walk. They find a body near the farm. They get involved with the case. Bun really makes the story. He has such character. He is so funny. I love the setting, lots of nature scenes, very springy. There's only 3 books in this series, but I do plan on continuing this on audio at some point. Then I started a new to me series, the Eugenia Patterson mystery series by Tiora Moody. So I actually read 2 books in this. I read Deep Fried Trouble and Oven Baked Secrets. So that's book 1 and 2 in the series. These are very short audiobooks. They're like 5-6 hours long. Eugenia Patterson is a retired school teacher. She is, in book 2 at least, she's turning 60, so generally speaking in the series she's in her 60s, and she's retiree. She is an empty nester and a widow, and she gets involved with different hijinks primarily in her neighborhood. She's like a neighborhood watch. This was on my cozy mystery series to start list this year, and I'm so glad I did. Eugenia is really a heartwarming, endearing character. I especially loved the audio. I feel like the narrator did an excellent job. It was a very like a nice kind of southern charm, very like cozy listen. I really enjoyed that. So I would give both of those books about a 4 star. Very fun, cozy audio reads. I kind of fall in love with them more for the character herself, Eugenia. And there's lots of family subplots. Heads up, this is classified, I think one of the top 3 genres on Goodreads for this is Christian fiction. There is a fair amount of that mentioned throughout. Like, Eugenia's very much a churchgoer, she prays. I don't find it over the top or anything, but I just wanted to mention that based on your preferences. But I love Eugenia. I thought she was a great character, and I started reading this because I love Tiora Moody's Joss Miller mystery series, and I'm caught up on that. And Joss Miller is actually like a small side character within the Eugenia Patterson series, so I wanted to read the series that kind of started it all, and I'm so glad I did. I'm really enjoying that. Eugenia is so funny. She's got a lot of humor. She's kind of sassy. I really enjoy her. There's some amazing food scenes in this. There's some great dog scenes. It's just a really cozy, heartwarming time. If you really like cozy characters, like I said, the mysteries are good, but I think it's more about the characters themselves. So keep that in mind depending on what you like to read. Assault and Buttery by Christy Abbott. So I did a baking and cozy mystery vlog at the beginning of the month. I'll link it above. But basically I read 3 different cozy mysteries and I made a recipe from each of them. One of those was this one here, which is Assault and Buttery by Christy Abbott. And this is the last in the Popcorn Shop mystery series, and I am so sad It's like the 3 Cozy Mystery Curse, okay? There's like all these series that are so good and they only have 3 books in them, and this is one of them. I wholeheartedly love this. I adore Sprocket. So our main character in this is Rebecca. She has a popcorn shop. This one actually has a really interesting setup. I don't want to go into how the plot is set up because that would kind of give spoilers, but Rebecca has a popcorn shop with all these gourmet treats. She has her poodle named Sprocket, so it's a great dog cozy mystery. And this one, she finds a diary within the walls of her popcorn shop during remodeling, and it links to a cold case, which I love. Fantastic setup, a really great cozy mystery. I love this series. I so recommend it. I am so sad that there are only 3 books in the series. So sad. Speaking of 3 cozy mystery curses, I also finished Drawn and Buttered by Sherry Randall. This is the 3rd and last book that I can tell, at least, in the Lobster Shack mystery series. It's been years since the last one came out, so I believe it's concluded. If you know differently, please let me know. I would be thrilled to be wrong. But Drawn and Buttered is a Halloween cozy, actually. So it takes place in October and a little bit into November, and I love this. So our main character is Allie. She's a recovering dancer. In the first book, she broke her leg, I believe, and she's injured, so she's taking a break from her ballerina days. And in this one, they're catering this like pirate party at this estate for Halloween, and of course a body is found at the party. They get involved. The mysteries for this are very well thought out. Excellent clues, really interesting layered mysteries, and I really enjoy the characters, especially Allie and her Aunt Goalie who runs the Lobster Shack. Aunt Goalie is a treat. I love her. I've read both the series physically and on audio, and both ways have been really great. Strongly recommend the series. It takes place in Maine, lots of lobstering references of course, and lots of dance references also, because Allie throughout the book is trying to, you know, recover and heal and get back into her performing days. So I love this series. I would really recommend it. I had such a great time with it. One that I DNF'd that I was pretty surprised about was Keepsake Crimes by Laura Childs. This is a scrapbooking mystery series featuring our main character Carmela. It takes place in New Orleans, and I was really excited for this. The main character runs a scrapbooking shop. I don't personally scrapbook, but I do enjoy crafts, and I have some family who do scrapbook, so I really appreciate the effort that goes into it, and I thought this would be a fun theme, and it was, but like nothing happened in this cozy mystery. Nothing. Like I read about half of it and I just like nothing happened. I returned it to my library, but I truly was so bored with it. I love Laura Child's Tea Shop mystery series, and I will say she definitely can be a little info dumpy. Like she definitely puts a lot of detail and research into the culture, the location, the history that she's writing about, which I appreciate and I love in the Tea Shop mystery, but this one it felt like it was just so much information and like no mystery. I was just like, what is going, like there's no, like where's the plot progression here? Like there was really nothing happening, it felt like. So that is a series that unfortunately I'm not going to continue. I DNF'd book 1. I have no plans to continue it, unfortunately. I did read Classified as Murder by Miranda James. This is the second in the Cat in the Stacks mystery series. My only regret is that I didn't pick this up sooner. I read book 1 like sometime mid-year, I think last year, and it took me this long to get to book 2, and this is so good. This was a 5-star cozy read for me. I loved this so much. So our main character in this is Charlie. He is a like part-time librarian, kind of book archivist. He works at a college, he volunteers at the library. It's very bookish, cozy, and he takes his Maine Coon cat Diesel with him everywhere, and Diesel is a treat. I love this. And in this one he's hired to do some librarian work at this man's estate, Delacourt. He is a very wealthy man. He has a big library of rare books, but they're not inventoried, and he suspects that some are missing, and maybe his family who lives with him has something to do with it. So it's a really classic mystery setup with like all the family under one roof. Of course, Delacourt is murdered, which is on the back, no spoilers, it's on the back of the book. But he is murdered, and then Charlie and Diesel get on the case because they want to, you know, avenge this poor man and find out if his family really had anything to do with it. Such a strong mystery. I loved it. I can't wait to continue the series. It is so incredibly good. The writing is great. The mysteries are well written. The bookish and cat moments are fabulous. This one had a really great subplot with some of his family going on that I really enjoyed. So I'm so excited to learn more about Charlie and to continue into this universe. Staging Wars by Grace Topping. This is the second in the Laura Bishop mystery series, which is another series I wanted to start this year, and I'm really flying through it. I plan on finishing it. Again, another 3 cozy mystery curse series where there's only 3 cozy mysteries. I'm planning on reading the last book in May because it is green, and I will be participating in the Murder and Mayhem readathon, and green is my team color for extra points. So Staging Wars is a cozy that takes place during the summer. Our main character is Laura Bishop, and she's a home stager, which is like somebody who basically sets a home to be sold. So it's kind of like taking personality out of the home so that buyers can picture their belongings in the home and to make it look more spacious and clean and open and that sort of thing. So it's really interesting. I've never read a cozy with that theme, and I'm so enjoying it. Laura is a great character. I love the side characters in the series, and in this one a body is found in a funeral home that wasn't supposed to be there though. So this one was a really interesting cozy. I so enjoyed it. I've been listening to these on audio, and I can't wait to read book 3, and I'm bummed that it's the last one. I don't know what it is with this. What is it with like only 3 books in a cozy series? I'm so so bummed about this. So one that I read for my ARC reading vlog, which I'll link above, and I actually ended up DNFing. It just wasn't for me personally, and I found that it didn't quite line up with my expectations for a cozy mystery. And that is How to Have a Killer Time in DC by Sam Lumley. This is the first in the Oliver Pops Travel Guides to Murder, and the publisher did really kindly send this to me, but I stopped reading it about halfway through. Let's see, I finished on page 127, and it's 264 pages, so almost halfway through. So the pros of this series: this takes place in the spring. Oliver is a travel writer, so I love this already. He's being sent on his first big assignment in DC, where he'll be working with a photographer, and there is a big emphasis on Oliver being autistic and also struggling with anxiety, and I love this representation. So although I'm not personally autistic, I really do appreciate seeing that in a character, and I do really appreciate the anxiety representation, especially just seeing him become overstimulated in certain situations, because I've definitely experienced that myself. And in this one, he goes to DC. He's very nervous. It's his first big feature, and he has like kind of a romance that's building with the travel photographer. So for starters, this is a very romance heavy cozy, which is kind of hinted at in the back, so that's not my main critique or anything. It's just not my preference. My critique of this is that it did take quite a while for the mystery to get started. Now I do understand it's book 1, so I can kind of give it some leeway that maybe it's kind of building stuff. But I feel like there wasn't a whole lot of emphasis on his writing, or the mystery wasn't getting started for quite a while. And then there was also a scene that made me very uncomfortable, and that I think kind of crossed the cozy line, which is a scene where Oliver was trying to get information out of another man who had shown that he was kind of interested in Oliver romantically. And we've all seen like mysteries where maybe the character kind of flirts a little bit to maybe get some info, but this one, Oliver was kind of pushed to be more than just verbal with this man to try to get stuff out of him. Like, it kind of went like we're in a bedroom situation, and it was just too much for me. I feel like that's kind of crossing the general cozy mystery genre lines, because it was a little more than just, you know, a chaste kiss or something, and I just kind of felt uncomfortable. It felt icky. I don't know. I didn't love it. I really wanted to love this for so many reasons. Like I said, the writing itself was really great. I would consider checking something else out by this author, definitely, but I didn't love that aspect of it, unfortunately. Southern Sass and Killer Cravings by Kate Young. I'm so excited to say that I gave this 4 stars. So I have read Kate Young's Jane Doe book mystery series, like her book club mystery series, and I've read 2 out of 3 of the books in that series, and I liked them, but they weren't like big favorites. They weren't like ones I would rave about, but this series I think has that potential, and this one is so fun. We basically have our main character who's returned home to her family's diner where her sister's been working. She's really great and with the food. She's very creative, and she can actually see her mother's spirit. So there's like a slight supernatural element. Her mother's spirit is trying to atone for something, and she actually had a very rough relationship with the main character. So Mary Jean is the main character, I should say, and Mary Jean and her mother had a very tough relationship, so they're kind of reconciling through her mother's spirit, and her mother is trying to get her to solve this mystery because her sister is a suspect in it. I really enjoyed this. I am definitely planning on continuing this series. Again, another cozy series with just 3 in it that looks like it's done. But I loved this. The southern accent of the audiobook narrator was amazing. I thought the mystery itself was really interesting and layered, and I was surprised at multiple points. And I really just liked the main character, Mary Jean. I thought she was very likable, and the mother spirit was just an interesting element that really added something to it. So I would definitely check out the series. An audiobook I listened to was Criminally Coco by Amanda Flower. This is an Easter audiobook. So the main character in the Amish candy shop is Bailey, but this takes place from her cousin Charlotte's perspective, who grew up Amish. So you get a very interesting, unique perspective, at least to me, since I'm not Amish personally, and I really like that. So she goes with Bailey to New York, to the big city, because Bailey's going to be on this cooking show, and there starts to be these accidents and they start to suspect sabotage, and Charlotte gets involved. And I just love Charlotte. She's an endearing character. I think I like her just as much as Bailey. And this one had some great Easter kind of moments, some chocolate. We have Jeffro the pig, who is the star of the Amish Candy Shop Mystery Series, in my opinion. And it's just such a great cozy listen. I definitely need to continue the Amish Candy Shop Mysteries. I just love them. And the novellas have been especially nice for the holidays. I really love them. So I read both Haunting License and High Spirits by Carol J. Perry this month. So High Spirits is an arc that I had on an ebook, and then Haunting License I listened to on audio. These are book 3 and 4 of the Haunted Haven mystery series, which takes place in Florida. Our main character in this is Maureen, and she is a B&B owner. She kind of gets the B&B in a very mysterious way, which is explored throughout the story. And her golden retriever Finn are the stars of the story. It's a fun series. It's lightly supernatural. Basically, the Florida B&B is haunted by ghosts, which some of the locals like Maureen can see and talk to, but they don't play like a big part in the mystery. It's more just like fun ambiance and like subplots. So I really like that. I think it's like a nice element without being too over the top. There were some amazing subplots that I can't go into for spoilers reasons with both of these stories, but I really liked them. I feel like there's a lot of interesting history for Florida, like the Florida area, that's really incorporated into these books, and I look forward to continuing this series. I'm sad there's not any more out, but I'm hoping another one will be released next year, hopefully, if it continues on the same schedule, because Maureen and Finn are awesome. I love them. Death by Chocolate Lab by Bethany Blake. This is a pet-sitting mystery series. This is the first in the series. I listened to this one on audio as well, and I really liked it. I was surprised. So it features 2 sisters, one who's kind of got her life together and one who's kind of all over the place. She's pet-sitting, she's trying to figure out what she's doing, and she's got this basset hound named Socrates. He is adorable and so, like, somber, I think is the word I'm looking for. I loved him so much. But this one had a really interesting mystery. I was shocked by the ending. I really did not see the reveal coming whatsoever. I loved all the pet sitting moments, and I do enjoy this. I really enjoy this mystery series. I would definitely continue the Lucky Paws pet sitting mystery series. I thought it was a hoot. The Silver Needle Murder by Laura Childs. This one I returned to my library already. This is, I think, book 9 in the Tea Shop mystery series, and it takes place in August, and it involves the Charleston Film Festival. And our main character is, of course, Theodosia, Drayton, Haley. Theodosia runs a tea shop called the Indigo Tea Shop, and Drayton and Haley are her partners in crime, if you will. They're the employees. They have wonderful fleshed out characters in this series. Lots of fun culture and history that are incorporated, like with the film and everything. Again, I was so surprised by the ending of this cozy. I didn't see the reveal coming. I was floored at like the ending and like how everything came out. Like, I truly was sitting there like, wait just a minute here. But I just love this series. It's a quick read. They're usually like 250 pages, lots of tea moments, lots of fun kind of catering parties. Delane Dish is an amazing side character who owns a boutique, and she's always hooking Theodosia up with great fashion and gossip, and I just love it. It takes place in Charleston, like I said. This one had a film festival at the heart of it, and I love this series. I really love it. I mean, I'm on book 9. Clearly I enjoy it. This is like a consistently 4-star series for me. I would really recommend it. Murder at the Blueberry Festival by Darcy Hannah. This was another one that I did a baking recipe from. I did the blueberry pie from in my Cozy Mystery vlog, which I'll link above. Oh, I loved this. This was also one that took place in August, and our main character in this is Lindsay. She runs the Beacon Bake Shop. This is book 3 in the series with her Newfoundland, or Newfie, who is so adorable. His name is Wellington. I love this series. This was a 5-star cozy read for me. It's a fantastic foodie cozy. This one involves a blueberry festival with like blueberry pie eating competitions and blueberry pie baking competitions and just every blueberry anything you can think of. Fantastic. I love her best friend Kennedy, who's an influencer who is like trying to make this like fashion line with her mother, and it's hilarious. The side characters in this is great. The mystery for this, there was like a prankster at the festival, and this went, if you can call the motive and the ending for this, then props to you, because I was really shocked. I was so surprised, and the blueberry pie recipe is a keeper. I was like, okay, that's a good one. All right, and then the last cozy mystery I read this month was Murder Checks In, a Maiden Harlow mystery, book 1 in the series by Camille Sharp. I also read this for the ARC reading vlog, although this did come out, I think, last fall. I'm really late to reading it, but I liked Maiden Harlow a lot. So this is a very family-centric cozy. It takes place at the family's inn, and basically they have, you know, a guest check-in, someone gets murdered. So it feels kind of like a closed mystery because everything kind of happens under one roof at the inn, which I like. Her sister is interesting. Her Maiden's older sister is quite aloof and like very, what is the word I'm looking for? She's very in your face. She's very like abrasive. There's the word I'm looking for. Very abrasive. Maiden is very much like a bit of a people pleaser, very sweet. This one is kind of heavy on the romance, I would say, so keep that in mind depending on your reading preference. I don't love a lot of romance in my cozies, but I didn't mind it. I thought it was cute. I loved her relationship with her family. That's what really made it for me, and the mystery itself was really fun. I loved the setting. I would definitely look into reading more in this series. I think they released kind of rapid fire, so there's a couple already out. And yeah, it's definitely something that's on my radar. I think I gave it like 3.75 stars. Something around there. On to thrillers. We have quite a few. I feel like I've been talking already for so long. First, let's start with The Inheritance by Trisha Saklecha. So this is a new 2025 release. I actually did a book club discussion on Kayla's channel with this month, which was so exciting. If you're curious, I will link it above if you want to check it out for a more detailed and spoiler including review. But The Inheritance is about this very wealthy Indian family. They are all coming to this reunion to celebrate their parents' anniversaries. There's 3 siblings and some of their partners. They're all coming to the older sibling Myra's island that she's renovating into this resort. Now, as the title suggests, they're also kind of there about the inheritance. This is a very this is sold as a thriller, but this is more of like a family drama suspense. If you go into it thinking it's a thriller like I did, I think you'll be a little disappointed. I gave this like 3.25 stars. If I knew it was a family drama going in, I would probably bump that a little bit, but because it is being like marketed as a thriller, I was just it was a little bit of a letdown for that reason. More of a family drama, but if you enjoy that sort of thing, you really like a lot of family drama, you like a closed setting on an island, I think you'd enjoy this. I would definitely keep an eye on this author. I'm looking forward to seeing what else they put out in the future, especially if it does tend to be more of like a pure thriller. So this one is like one that I would say I don't regret reading. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it as much as I wanted to because of that. Just not having as much of a mystery or thriller focus. It felt, again, very family drama. It took a very long time for the actual like kind of like murder to happen, and I felt like everything was wrapped up super quickly at the end. I really wished we had had a little bit more time at the end to explore the aftermath of certain events. I feel like that would have been amazing and could have really bumped up my rating. But like I said, I think for a debut, this was really good. I would definitely look into this author in the future, and if you are someone who really likes suspense and family drama and you go into it looking for that, I think you might like it even more. So again, I would say like a good read. I enjoyed it. Would definitely look into reading more from this author. Don't Tell by Mary Stone and Mac Giegrick says safety is just an illusion. So you are reading from our main character's point of view. She is this kind of counselor, psychologist at this camp for troubled teenage girls. And this book was very kindly sent to me. Thank you to the author. I really enjoyed this. I would say a 3.75. I flew through this. The front says safety is just an illusion, and that is the truth. The ending for this, I was like, okay, I saw some of it coming, other parts I was completely like, woof, had no idea that was coming. I really just enjoyed connecting with this main character. She has a very dark, layered past. She had a relationship with a teacher where she was taken advantage of as a young girl. She's got secrets from her husband's got some secrets from her. There's a lot of messiness going on in their marriage. There's some trouble going on at the camp she works at with the name of Amanda, who is a new patient slash like camper there, and that's really bringing up some past issues. There's also a cold case near the camp where a girl went missing many years ago when when the author or main character was kind of like in high school. That was never solved, and I just love it. This has so many tropes I love. I love a cold case that's possibly connected to a future case. I love when a main character is like a writer or psychologist, something like that, that really, I don't know, I just find that to be a fascinating field. This just was a fast, fun read. I really, really enjoyed this. I would definitely look into more books by this author, and this will definitely be making some recommendation videos for me because I really liked it. Close Your Eyes and Count to 10 by Lisa Unger. This was one of my most anticipated thriller releases for this first half of the year. I loved this. I loved this. I'm really just falling in love with Lisa Unger. I think I've read now 4 books by her, and I've loved every single one of them. Anywhere from like maybe a 3.5 to 5 stars, really, but I just consistently been a very strong author. This is her newest release, and it takes place with like a survivalist reality TV competition on an island. Which, if you guys know, I love any type of competition in my mysteries or thrillers. I love that. I love a closed, isolated setting. This one involves a lot of social media where it's being filmed, and the people who are like on the island are like social media influencers in their own right, so they're like, it's so creepy and intense. And what I really like is our primary character we're following is Adele. She's a single mother with 2 teen kids. Her family's got an interesting subplot and story of their own, and I just enjoyed it. She's really fierce. She's determined to win this money for her kids' future, and that just adds this like extra layer of rooting for her, and you really like her. She's a likable character in herself. This does go with multiple points of views. I feel like we could have maybe eliminated one point of view to make it like a little more clear, but still like a good 4-star read for me. I would really recommend this. This was a really good like summery thriller. Speaking of summer thriller, one that I read for my ARC reading vlog that I linked above is Dead of Summer by Jessa Maxwell. So this takes place over June and July. It also takes place on an island, and we're reading from several points of views. We're reading from a girl who is returning to this island after all these years, and as a teenager, her best friend disappeared. She's presumed to have like drowned, like nobody has seen her since. Then we're reading from Faith's perspective, and Faith is the fiance to this very wealthy young man who his family is kind of like the royalty of the island, like they're extremely wealthy and influential, but the family might not be everything she expects. We'll put it that way. The third person we're reading from is this older man, and he was the one who was an original suspect for that teen girl's disappearance, although nothing was ever proven. So you're reading these 3 points of views, and it's fascinating. I loved this. This was a 5-star thriller for me. Jessa Maxwell did it again for me. I so enjoyed this, and I'm so excited to say that because I didn't love last year's release from her, but I loved The Golden Spoon as like a murder mystery, and then I loved Dead of Summer. This one had me on the edge of my seat. I could barely put it down. Highly recommend that. One that I am so sad I didn't love is This Is Where We Die by Cindy XT. So this was again an anticipated release for me this year, and it is young adult, so sometimes that's a little bit of a risk for me. I don't read as much young adult, so that could be part of it. But basically this involves a group of teenagers who survived a very traumatic life or death situation. Not all of them survived, but the group that did survive is now graduating high school, and they want to celebrate like a big graduation party. One of them is very wealthy, has access to this island. They fly out there. They're supposed to be meeting other teens from their high school, but they're the only ones there. And they soon find out that they are cut off from like society. They don't have access to get back home. Like they are stuck, stranded on this island. And this is bringing up issues from the past. And it's kind of like a one-by-one situation where things start to happen to each of them one by one. There starts to be hints to the past. So lots of tropes that I love. You do read from multiple points of views. What I didn't like about this was, one, I couldn't really tell the difference between the points of views. They kind of just melded together. Like, unless I paid attention to what the chapter name was, I was like, who am I reading from again? Like, I really was struggling to keep track of the point of views. And then I just found all the characters to be so whiny, which isn't, I know that's kind of, I don't know, I feel mean for saying that, but that's just, the characters just like, I was just like, please stop. Like, I just was getting so irritated reading from their perspectives, and I just ended up DNFing. One that I loved, one of my favorites this month, was Little Secrets by Jennifer Hillier. So I need to read more by this author. This was phenomenal. Oh, I mean, wow. I read this at the beginning of the month. I think it was like the first thriller I read this month, and my brain is still processing it. All it takes to unravel a life is one secret. And I feel like the less you know going into this, the better, but our basic premise is we have Marin, our main character. She is a mother. She's married to her college sweetheart. She's got a great life. They have a son, Sebastian, until one day Sebastian is taken. And this does take place kind of around the Christmas season, although you're reading past that as well, so it's over the course of months, multiple seasons, but it is kind of Christmassy in vibes for a reason you'll find out getting into this. But their son Sebastian is taken, and a year later the FBI has been unsuccessful. They never found him, they didn't find remains, they don't know what happened. And her husband's relationship is falling apart, and her husband's been cheating on her with a woman named Kenzie, who is much younger. She's like a student, very artsy, and Marin is just devastated. She's not ready to lose her marriage and her son, and she views Kenzie as the enemy, and this kind of goes into that. And the ending for this, some of the twists for this, wow. Like I said, the less you know going into this, the better, but no, this will be definitely making some shocking thriller lists for me because I enjoyed this so much. I couldn't put it down. One that was good, but it wasn't great, unfortunately, was Claire Darling by Callie Kazumi. So it says she's been ghosted, she won't be forgotten. So this is the cover here. Really striking, a really like interesting psychological thriller. So I think my main problem with this is that I called the twist really early on. That might be because I've read, I think, a thriller with some kind of twist like this recently. So that could be why. If I hadn't predicted it so early on, I think I would have liked it more. But mainly our main character in this, her name is Claire. And one day she goes to drop off lunch at her fiance Noah's work, only to learn that he is no longer working there. It hasn't been for weeks. But he's been leaving her place every day. Like, she's like, wait, what's happening? Like, where is he going during the day? And she just kind of has a breakdown, naturally. I mean, I think that's pretty reasonable. That's really shocking to learn. And then suddenly Noah isn't picking up her phone. He's being seen with another person. Like, all this drama. Again, the less you know going in, the better. I feel like if you've read a lot of thrillers, you might be able to kind of call it kind of early like I did, but if you're newer to thrillers, I would suggest picking this up because I think it could really blow your mind. So I hope that makes sense. I feel like if you're newer, if you're more of a beginner thriller reader, maybe check this out if you're interested in a psychological thriller, because I did really enjoy it. I flew through it. Like, I really couldn't put it down. I was just a little, like, I wanted a little something more from the ending. So that's why I kind of gave like 3.25 stars. So not bad. Like, I don't regret reading it. It was good enough, but just not as great as I wanted it to be. The Mother Next Door by Tara Lakowski. This is a suburban mom's annual block party domestic thriller. I had so much fun with this. This is just, it's fun, it's intense. I mean, it's like suburban moms who are like crazy drama. This does take place during the summertime, and there's this annual block party and like Halloween party. So it kind of takes place in the summer leading up to Halloween. We have this group of the moms, the 5 as they're called, except one of them is no longer there. And our main character might become the 5th one, and kind of the replacement. However, as they start to prepare for this big Halloween bash and party, they start to get threatening messages. It seems like someone might be stalking them. And that's kind of the general premise for it. You're reading, again, multiple points of views. It says they'd kill to be her on the front. There's very much like, one of them's the golden mom that like everyone looks up to, who's got everyone, you know, puppet on the strings kind of thing. Very like classic domestic thriller kind of setup, but just a really fun time. I gave this like 3.75 stars. I definitely would love to check out more by this author, so if you have recommendations, let me know. Where You Belong by S.J. King. This was an arc I also read for the vlog, and wow, I mean, this is a dark thriller. This is one that leaves you thinking at the end and like kind of creeped out. Like, definitely not just kind of like a popcorn thriller, this one definitely like kind of impacts you. Basically this family moves into this exclusive neighborhood for the husband's job, and things seem to be good. It's a very wealthy, nice neighborhood, but things are off. There's some weird stuff going on in the neighborhood, and the wife is slowly becoming more and more paranoid, and you're kind of reading to see, is there a reason for this? Because this neighborhood has some really strict, weird rules, and yeah, we'll leave it at that. But I gave this like 4 stars, I want to say. I really enjoyed it, had a good time with it. A Good Mother by Michelle Dunn. This was another kind of suburban mom domestic thriller. You read from multiple points of views, and what I liked about this one is it really makes you kind of question what is a good mother, because you're reading from multiple mothers' perspectives and you're seeing what they're doing to try to protect their children. Because basically you have a couple of neighbors, they have their children who are like friends, their kids are like teenagers, they've been friends for a long time. One of them goes missing, one of the daughters, and her mother of course is devastated. She's looking everywhere for her, the husband's looking everywhere for her. It's just a terrifying situation. They're trying to hunt out what happened to their daughter and like kind of finding out secrets about her they didn't realize were happening, and they're kind of trying to question one of the neighbors' kids because they are close to the daughter, so trying to see if they know anything or if they spotted anything. But the family's acting very strange, and there's just a lot of tension, and I liked this a lot. I really appreciated the ending for this. I feel like you had some really good payoff. It felt like some characters got what they deserved, kind of a thing, and yeah, I really enjoyed that aspect. So this one had me guessing all over the place, like where's the daughter, who's done something to her. Like I was all over the place with my guesses for this, which is a good sign. I read this in one afternoon. It's like a solid 4 stars for me. I really loved it. You Are Fatally Invited by Ande Pelleggio. This is another 2025 release that takes place on an island. That's a big theme for this, and it's a writer's retreat. Like I said, I love writers as protagonists. I think it's fascinating. I love the isolated setting. So many good things. So our renowned anonymous author J.R. Alastor hires former aspiring writer Mila to host a writing retreat at his private resort off the coast of Maine. He invites a host, like a group of different thriller writers. They are all very different. You're getting to read from different perspectives. They are very at each other's throats for one reason or another, and they soon learn that they've been invited there for a different reason than writing and meeting the author. Possibly some revenge going on. This had me in a chokehold. I loved this. So many great twists. I just, wow. I mean, if you like kind of sick, twisted mind games in your thrillers, this is one I would recommend. The Secrets She Keeps by Michael Robotham. So one of you actually recommended this to me. This book blew my mind. So we have 2 women we're following, and both of them are expecting a child in December, and one of them is working in a grocery store. She's like a clerk there. She is really fascinated with the other woman because she's very put together. She's got like a blog. She's very, like, she's kind of got her ideal life going on, and so she kind of strikes up a conversation. They start to kind of become friends. I put together some of this, but the ending for this I really didn't see coming, and I was actually really pleased with how it played out. But these characters are complex and layered, and like you will have moments where you're just heart-wrenching, and there's just secrets that both these women have, and they're just, oh my goodness, wow. I will be checking out more from this author. This was a very dark thriller. I might, like any thriller, I would recommend trigger warnings, but with this one in particular, because it is surrounding like pregnancy and kids, maybe keep that in mind, that there are some triggers involving that. But this one was, I mean, it was brutal, but it was such a fantastic, dark, intense read that I really couldn't put down. It was such an interesting look into these women's minds, and it makes you question morality in different ways, and I really enjoyed it. Hi guys, I'm just finishing up the reading wrap up because my camera died the other day. So I was talking about B.A. Paris's The Therapist. This was an excellent 5-star psychological thriller. It involves Alice and Leo, who move into this really nice neighborhood, but Alice becomes obsessed with what happened to the previous resident there, a therapist named Nina, who it just like 2 years ago something happened to Nina and Alice becomes obsessed with solving that. So definitely one that I recommend. I would strongly recommend B.A. Paris as a whole. I've read now 3 books from them and they've all been knockout like 5-star reads for me. And then last but not least, I finished reading The Dip by Seth Godin. This is a nonfiction and it's all about kind of when you're like chasing a goal or something and you kind of have a dip in progress, but that's often kind of a sign that you're about to kind of shoot up again, kind of, as you can see on the cover here, kind of has that like dip, but then you go right back up. And it's kind of talking about how to overcome that, when to decide if a project is something maybe you should put aside, kind of like that. It's a very short book. It was like 90 pages. It was an enjoyable read. It's not my favorite by Seth Godin, but I did enjoy it. I think it had some good merit and some interesting points, because I think we've all been there wondering whether or not we should, you know, continue to pursue a goal or passion, you know, especially if we're not getting much progress like we want, or if it's worth it to stick it out. That's kind of what the basic premise of the book is. I'm not sure if I explained that amazingly, but that is a book I enjoyed. I'd say like 3.5 stars. And that's everything for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading wrap up. I had such a fun reading month in April, and hopefully this gives you some ideas for your TBR. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy anything in the mystery genre, bookish content, cozy content, I hope you'll hit subscribe. I talk about everything cozy mystery to thrillers every week on my channel. Thank you guys. Bye!